Perfect. Welcome to the Red Rock Rescue. This is Hellworld Heist number 2. This is from the Reach Adventures number 9 Hellworld Heists for Traveler Mongoose 2nd Edition. Now, in between the first scenario, the Grav Train robbery, and this one, we've made 4 new characters, and we still have one last step to do once we all get everybody together. So we have Ellis Rhodes, we have, we just call him Chief, we've got Sir Dalamont Chapters, and Ulysses. Now, what we can do is do what's called connections, and we can also choose a traveler skill package. So let me take us to this screen here. On the right hand side you'll see the skills packages, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them. And as a group we choose one, and then we just take turns picking those skills from that particular box. Either Traveler or Explorer is probably going to be the best one. The Traveler one just has stuff that everyone needs, like a multi-purpose one. Explorer is good. It's got a little bit more adventurous stuff going on in there. But what we'll do is, like, let's say we take the Traveler one, then we'll be like, okay, who wants Deception 1? And if nobody has it, they can take it. And then who wants Electronics 1? And you just go through until everyone gets at least one skill, and some people may get multiples. But first, we're going to do connections. So let me pull tokens on this screen here, just so we have them. So what you do with connections is you look at your histories, and you're going to make a connection with one of the other characters, and you're going to say, hey, what were you doing 8 years ago or 12 years ago? We look back in your history, how many terms back, each term being 4 years, and say, oh, well, I was doing this. Oh, well, let's say I met you there, and we got together, and we had drinks in a bar, and we talked about our future plans. And in doing so, maybe I increased my carouse, and what did you increase? Oh, maybe I increased my, maybe my persuasion skill. Okay, great. Then you each get a bump of 1 level in that skill. So we've already kind of made one connection between Ulysses and Ellis. I think it's might be in Ulysses' history, where you met Ellis, and I think that was,
I believe it was
8 years ago. Yes, 8 years ago.
Yes.
So it was during in like 1097. And so let me go on to Ellis's and look and see in 1097. So I'm going to edit yours, Ellis. So you participated in a diplomatic mission to which you were integral. Let's change this and say you met Ulysses Korvax. You met a merchant crewman named Ulysses Korvax. What did you guys talk about? Or I guess it kind of mentions in Ulysses that you discussed your plans, that you decided you would blaze a path through charted space together one day. So from Ellis, from your point of view, how did that conversation go?
Well, I believe I was a pilot at one point.
Mm-hmm.
So meeting a fellow pilot, trying to rise through I was the Navy, so maybe rise through the Navy. It would be a good person to meet and a good person to have connections with.
So let's say maybe you met a merchant crewman named Ulysses Korvax. He had strong aspirations of being a pilot. I taught him a few tricks over drinks, and we had a chance during some downtime to take a ship out for a refueling run. And he put those skills into practice. So during that time, let me save that on yours, and let me go over to yours, Ellis or Ulysses. that one's actually good. So, what skills did you guys learn from each other?
Well, I think Ulysses definitely learned a bit about piloting spacecraft from Ellis.
Yeah, so your pilot spacecraft right now is 1, so that could go up to a 2. Now, Ellis, what did you learn from Ulysses?
I mean, I could also go pilot, or maybe
And it can be
diplomat.
any skill.
Yeah, diplomat, because we met at the conference, I think.
Yeah, so maybe you used some techniques that you had learned before the conference. You thought, you know what, I'm going to try these out on this guy and see if I can get him to buy me drinks. And it turns out it worked. So let's change your diplomat to diplomat 2. Perfect. Okay, so let's do someone next. Let's do Ellis. Let's do your next skill. Everybody gets 2. So Ellis, who else did you make a connection with? Was it with Sir Dalamont or with Chief?
I guess I'll do Chief.
So Chief. Now let's look at both of your histories. So if we look at Chief's history, how about so Chief, you were drafted into the Navy in 1081, but that is before Ellis even started. So we're not going to use that one. Maybe as we could do 1089. So in 1089, let's see, Ellis, this is when you applied for Scout Services and you failed to pass the exam and became a drifter. You got injured while on the job and you were drafted by the Navy. So what if in that same time in 1089, let's look at Chief. And Chief, this is when a perp found out where you lived. Now, let's say that Ellis, maybe you had some information for Chief. Maybe not so much as an informant, but maybe you just happened to be walking by and you saw something suspicious and you had some compassion on Chief. You had heard of what happened. Maybe you came forward with some information that may have helped him. You guys like that?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I like that. That would be very very impactful to old Chief.
Yeah, so let me adjust Ellis's. One evening, you witnessed the murder of a law enforcement officer's wife. You sought the officer and did everything you could to cooperate and help him during this difficult time. Okay, and then let me adjust Chief's. At the end, you were approached by a drifter who had witnessed the crime, and you became close friends in an effort to help one another through the challenges ahead. All right, so Ellis, what skill did you learn from all that? And then Chief, what skill did you learn from that interaction?
I'm thinking maybe that could work for Streetwise.
Yeah, I think Streetwise would be really good there. So let's change your Streetwise from 0. We'll put it at 1. Perfect. And then Chief, what did you learn from Ellis?
Yeah, I'm thinking probably like like tactics. And like, in fact, I like to think that Ellis is the only reason I even know that it was Danny who did it.
Yeah.
So it really helped him start becoming more of a detective kind of law enforcement guy.
Yeah, maybe Ellis saw like where the shooter was at, and as you started to piece this together, you're like, oh man, that's a perfect spot. I never would have thought of that, but now I'm going to be on the lookout for that. So let's definitely do tactics. I like that. Let me adjust this. So there are military and naval. It would probably be military tactics versus naval, because naval would be like flying starships and stuff. This would be ground combat. So I'm going to give you military at level 1. Perfect. So now let's bring in Sir Dalamont. So Chief and Sir Dalamont, let's get you guys a connection. So let's look at your histories. And let's see what we got. So 1085. So 1085 is when, Chief, that's when you became an agent. That is also when Sir Dalamont flunked out of university. Due to there was a gambling club. So maybe you busted a illegal gambling ring, and rather than throw him in jail, maybe you had compassion on him.
Right, because Chief failed his university because he fell in with the wrong crowd.
Yeah.
I think he could have some compassion there. Yeah.
Maybe you're the reason why Sir Dalamont decided to change his course and help other people for a living.
Nice. Oh, I love it.
That is a wholesome connection. I love that, yeah.
Officers took pity on me, and rather than arresting me, he told me to make things right and not repeat
He was still a gambler, though.
mistakes. Oh yeah. You just you try to get caught now. You only do it where it's legal. Not repeat mistakes. That's my whole future lay ahead. I will never forget John Hargrave. Perfect. And so now let me add that to Hargraves. You got a tip that there was some illegal gambling going on at the local university. You busted the ring, and rather than arrest a bright-eyed young man, you set him on the path to reformation. Dalamont chapters owes you a favor. Perfect. Okay, so Chief, what skill did you learn from that? And Sir Dalamont, what skill did you learn from that?
Is it like any skill?
Any skill. And it could be one that you don't have, it can be one that you do have. Whatever you get, it will go up one level.
On Chief's part, I think Persuade might make sense.
I think that would be fantastic, yeah. So let's give you Persuade. That'll go to 0. That took away a -2 penalty, which is fantastic.
Was there like a melee weapon skill or something, or self-defense?
Yeah, so
What is
under
melee?
melee, there is unarmed, blade, or bludgeon. Unarmed would be like martial arts. Blade would be using a knife. Bludgeon is something that you club somebody with.
I think I would, but
So you have a stun stick, which I think would probably fall under bludgeon. So maybe maybe the police came in with these little tasers, and you're like, ooh, I gotta get me one of those. And maybe through your friendship, maybe Chief kind of showed you how to use one, how to hold it so it's not knocked out of your hand, things like that.
Chief was trying to change my focus off of what's unimportant.
And Chief is trained
Trying
in
to
bludgeoning.
Beat me down to build me up.
Beautiful.
I love that. Let's give you one in bludgeon. Sweet. And so now we've got one last one. This is going to be Ulysses and Sir Dalamont. So let's find a skill here and a connection for the two of you. So pull up your histories. Let's go 1093. So let's see. Is this when you were hurt? No. Let's find a time when Ulysses was hurt, and maybe Sir Dalamont, who trained as a physician, maybe you helped patch him up. Let's see.
I was hurt a lot. Shouldn't be too
were,
tough
yeah.
to find.
Uh,
A time when I was hurt.
About, let's see. Oh, there we go. Okay, so let's see. Drafted into the army. That was 1089. Perfect. So of course they're going to get the the resident to come work on you in 1089. So Sir Dalamont, you took a career in another system. This system. The system soon fell into civil unrest. A war broke out, and you saw the dark side of what humans can do to one another. You used your skills to patch up an infantryman, Ulysses Corvax, who had taken a slug to the spinal cord. As this was your first trauma response, you've never forgotten Ulysses. Perfect. And then Ulysses, let's adjust yours. And the man that patched you up was a young, highborn physician who, despite his trembling hands, assured you that you were in good hands. Only afterwards, when you found out you were his first real patient, did you both have a laugh over it? Did you both have a laugh over it? Deep down, you owe Dalamont chapters your life. Alright, let's give you guys a skill. So, Sir Dalamont, what did you learn from Ulysses? And Ulysses, what did you learn from Sir Dalamont? You could bump up medic higher if you wanted with this, for sure. Or leadership would be a good one.
I was thinking maybe leadership, maybe Ulysses kind of pulled Dalamont a little bit about his experience, and Dalamont was looking to rise up the ranks of the medical faculty at the point in time.
Yeah, and this is right when you
So-
start making all your leaps and bounds.
So he was looking for tips, and he was absorbing all I could from Ulysses.
Awesome. So leadership is useful in combat. If you get into combat, you can roll like on your turn. You can take an action like fire a weapon, but you can also make a leadership roll, and the effect, or however, above the target number or below the target number, that's modifiers that the rest of the people on your side can use on their roll. So let's say you make a leadership roll and you need an 8, and let's say you get a 10, so that's a +2, and then you would have a +2 that you could give to someone else on your team that turn, basically as you're pointing out, hit that guy there, or knock out that sniper, and it would give them a bonus on their attack. So that's something that would be very useful in a combat situation. So that would be a good call on that. And you could use like your social skill, which has a +2. So yeah, that'd be
Yeah, that would be good.
Ulysses, what did you learn from that encounter?
I'm also a pretty big gambler, so perhaps he got a little better at it.
Nice. Let's give you a 2 on there. Perfect. Okay, now the last thing we need to do is let's look at the traveler, the skills packages. Do you guys think that the first one, the traveler skills package, would be the best one, or do you want to take explorer, or is there another one that you like? And then we'll just take a turn, and you can each pick one of those, and then once everyone has picked one, if there's any left, you guys can pick amongst those as well.
So is this, you get to add 1 point, or you get a 1?
You get a
like
1.
that?
So if you already have a 1, you would get nothing. If you have a 0, it would go to 1. If you had a -3, it would go straight to 1. If you had a 2, it wouldn't do anything. You would get rank 1 in one of those skills. So for example, for Ulysses, you do not have deception. You do have electronics, but you don't have a 1 in any of the electronics. So you could take like 1 in electronic sensors, or 1 in electronic computers or comms. Like that gun combat, you already have a 1 in energy, but you could take a 1 in slug as well. Gunner, you have, but you don't have a 1 in anything, so you could raise from a 0 to a 1. Medic, you don't have, that would go to a 1. Persuade, you don't have, so that would go to a 1. Pilot, you already have a 2 in spacecraft, but you could take pilot small craft or pilot capital ships, or just let someone else have that skill. And stealth, you don't have, so that would go to a 1. So that's kind of how that would work. So let's. Unless anyone objects, I think the Traveler's skill package is going to be the best one. It's the most well-rounded. Does that sound okay with everybody?
That's fine. with
Yeah,
me.
I don't see any that feel better.
Yeah. So now the question is, who wants Deception 1? Anyone? Anyone?
Dalmon can take it if nobody wants it. He does already have Persuade, though.
Yeah, Deception would be... It'd be definitely a different skill from Persuade. It would probably give you more options. When, again, I think you're going to be kind of the face of the group, so that might be good. If you don't have Deception, it might be good for you to take that one.
Alright, I'll pick it up.
So if you... do you know how to do that on your character sheet?
Let's see. I checked it.
And then
But-
that should put it at 0, and then change the 0 to a 1.
It's still at -3. Grayed out.
So
Oh, there we go.
I'll grab that for you. So now it's a 1. Perfect. So we've got that one out of the way. Who wants electronics 1? And then you would choose like which electronics you would want. And so you got the option of comms, computers, remote ops, or sensors For flying a ship, sensors is pretty important.
Ulysses could take it then. He's pretty good at flying spacecraft, so he might be doing that.
So let me give you 1 on electronics. Okay. How about gun combat 1? Either Chief or Ellis. Either you want gun combat 1.
Yeah, I mean, Chief's got energy, so it's, like you said, you could take Slug, but I don't think he'll particularly, like, he's fond of his lasers.
Ellis doesn't have any gun combat. Do you want to pick up gun combat?
Yeah, sure.
Do you think you're more likely to use an energy weapon or a slug weapon?
What is a slug weapon?
It would be like modern weapons that we have now with like powder and a bullet. So a slug would be a bullet. An energy would be like a laser pistol or laser rifle.
I guess I could take slug.
Okay. Give you a 1 on slug. In fact, you don't have a weapon. We need to get you a weapon before we get started. Okay, so then there's gun combat. Gunner 1. That might go to Chief since you haven't picked one. Do you want Gunner? That would be operating guns on a starship.
Okay, that was my question. Yeah, that makes sense for him. That's probably the only thing he'd really feel comfortable doing on a starship.
Yeah, let's give you turret. So operating a turret on the ship, that would be the use there. All right.
Perfect.
So that's 4. So then we go back to who wants medic 1. Someone else can get persuade 1, someone pilot 1, and someone stealth 1. So medic 1. I think Sir Dalamont already has medic 1. Yes. Chief, how about if we give it to Chief? Do you think that might be something useful being in law enforcement? Or
Right, and
did you have
Chief's-
your heart set on a different skill?
No. I just didn't want to take 2 in a row. I know there's 4 left, but no, that kind of makes sense. Like Chief is going to be more of like a range. He's not like a big tough guy. He's a thinker and good with a gun, but so it makes sense for him to be the medic, right? He's probably you wouldn't want to give it to say the pilot.
Right. He's going to have his hands full. How about recon 1?
You mean stealth?
Or sorry. I'm looking at
Persuade.
the wrong one. Persuade 1. Yep, sorry, I was looking at the wrong box. Persuade 1.
I guess I could take it.
Ulysses could take this one.
well,
Ulysses can
He's
take it.
had to persuade a lot of people to help him get all of his different jobs done when he was a merchant. So
Perfect. We'll give you persuade 1.
that might have been something he picked up.
Pilot 1. Who is semi-useful as a pilot? And let's see. So Ellis, you already have pilot 1, as does Ulysses. Sir Dalamont, you did learn how to fly. You picked up the flyer skill.
He also flew his father's ship or his lab ship.
Oh, that's right. Let's give you pilot 1 on that. Okay, then that leaves us with stealth 1. And who still is missing 1? Is that Chief?
Chief took 2, I think.
Okay, who only took 1?
I think I only took it.
Oh, you only took 1? Okay, let's give Ellis stealth. So you had 0, so that'll go to 1, so that's perfect. Perfect. We need to get Ellis some equipment real quick. Now that you can use a gun, let's get you a gun. Let's get you an auto pistol. And let's get you some armor, some cloth armor. I think everybody else has some equipment. I don't think we had put equipment on here for you. And you should have the mobile comm and your filter mask. Perfect. Okay. All right, I think we are ready. Any questions about this part of the character creation process? Great. Let's get started with the adventure.